Hey everyone, so I've got a lot of questions recently about my buying process for buying raw cards, all the way to cleaning them, to preparing them for PSA and submitting them. So I'm going to make a video and talk about that today. If you're new to the channel, I do mostly raw to grade stuff, which in my opinion is the best way to actually make money with sports cards here in 2023. So if you like this content, please like the video, comment your suggestions and feedback, and please subscribe as well. It keeps me motivated and I have a lot of good stuff coming down the pipeline. So let's go ahead and jump into this. I wanted to talk about just a few points today. These are a few cards that I'm getting ready to submit to PSA, so we'll touch on that in a little bit. My first point is to buy the right sport at the right time. And this really only applies if you're prospecting. You can buy the Legends any time of year and it'll be great, but give yourself 4, 5, 6 months before a season starts when you're going to start buying cards of that sport, because it's going to take your cards a week to ship to you. It's going to take them 2 to 3 months at PSA, and then you're going to have to sell them on top of that. So give yourself plenty of time. That's something I'm learning more and more as I go along. I still have a lot of basketball rookies at PSA that I'm hoping I don't get burned too bad on. The other thing I focus on is buying newer cards that have a higher gem rate. So I actually have a video in the works that I'm editing right now about my full process of buying cards on eBay, all the way from the decision of what to search, to vetting the cards from the pictures, other things to look for. So that's coming out soon. I'll go over it in more depth. But essentially, you want to buy newer, high gem rate cards, especially if you're starting out. So from what I buy on eBay, I submit about 85%, 85 to 90% of that to PSA, and I average 70 to 75% gem rate on my orders. So it definitely mitigates a lot of the risk if you're buying newer cards. So now let's get to the preparation step. Once you get your cards, deciding what to grade and what not to grade is a obviously big step in the decision. So I'll go ahead and let's start with the Kobe. This card's from 2012, but I bought it at a card show, so I was able to see it up close a little bit better. So I just use a phone light to inspect here. So let's go ahead and get this on. As you can see, there's a bit of a surface dimple there. That's no concern to me. And other than that, the surface looks good. The back, it's a little bit scratched up. You can tell. Some of these look like little indents in the camera, but they're not indents. They're kind of just smudges or scratches. The corners actually look pretty good on this card, which is a problem for this card in general. So everything checks out. Next thing you want to do is take a microfiber cloth and just go over especially the spots that have smudges. You can use a little bit of water or even just your own saliva to clean off the chrome cards. Obviously, be careful if you're doing paper cards though. So you want to clean it pretty good, especially the front. Just yeah, clean off all the smudges, the fingerprints, whatever it may be. And yeah, just back in the sleeve, back into the card saver. I've already cleaned most of these, but just kind of as a proof of concept, wanted to show my process here. Another thing that you guys have asked about is, do I submit cards that I know will get a 9? Do I throw in some duds to hopefully kind of increase my chances of some of the bigger cards getting 10s? I don't do that deliberately, but I do take risks, and I do order the cards specifically accordingly. So this LeBron here has a bit of a problem here on the back, as you can see. Some surface marks there. Other than that, it looks really good though. So I just told myself, you know what? I'm going to take a risk on it. Sometimes they pay off, sometimes they don't, but I'm happy to take a risk on a few cards every submission, and we'll see what happens. Luckily, this set here, even the 8s will be decently profitable, so I'm okay with that. So in terms of ordering, here's how I usually like to do the order. So usually I'll put cards that I'm taking risks on earlier in the submission, earlier than the cards that they match up with. So normally I'd put the LeBron in the front, but since it's a bigger card, I'm leaving it in the back. But honestly, I might put it before the Kobe to give some contrast, because the Kobe, getting a 10 on the Kobe would be a big one. So I like to order the smaller cards first, the smaller dollar cards first, or the risk-taking ones first. So with these LeBrons, this Select is the smallest dollar card of all the LeBrons I've got. So I put it first, then I kind of ordered the Prisms accordingly. And all of these look really good. So none of these are risks per se, but I did put the biggest one in the back. This is the Purple Money Shimmer out of 50, color match with the Lakers. So also this Gold Money out of 500 is close to the back as well. So anyway, I hope that answers some questions. Just to sum things up, if you're prospecting, time the market well, time the sports well. You can mitigate a lot of risk by buying newer, high gem rate cards. When you do get the cards in, inspect them with a phone light. Look for surface scratches, surface dimples. Look on the back for surface like pin marks or things like that. And then if it passes at that point, clean up the smudges. You can use a little water if needed for the chrome cards. And then pay attention to the ordering of your cards and be willing to take some risks as well in each order. So that's kind of my formula for grading. Hope that answers some of your questions. Please leave any other questions below, and please subscribe. Like I said, there's going to be a video coming out where I show you my screen on eBay, all of my process with that. So subscribe to stay tuned for that, and we'll see you guys next time.